What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Two in the Teal podcast. I'm Ethan.
I'm Marcus. Thanks for riding with us. We're going to be here with you all season long. A lot of tears, a lot of happy times. Give us a like and subscribe.
Let's freaking go.
Welcome in, everybody. Two in the Teal, little Friday night pod, post-scrimmage. So we're going to talk about the scrimmage, dive into some things. But tonight is a very special night. Marcus and I are very lucky to be joined by one of our good friends, Augustus Shapley Boyd V.
We call him number
Quint.
5. Yep.
Quint. Marcus, why don't you give us a little intro on our boy Quint Boyd?
Yeah, I mean, a true football guy. He comes from a football family. His father's the head coach at Erskine College Flying Fleet Football. Went out to a game, awesome team. They're relatively new, sweet feel, but this guy's just been surrounded by football his whole life. Started his football career at Ponte Vedra High School, playing offense and defense. At 6'1", 180, wearing number 5. He was one of 2 MVP team captains that took that dying team at Ponte Vedra in 2015-2016 season to a winning season of 8-3. We were on that team. After high school ball, hung up the cleats. He wanted to pursue academics. He was over there at University of West Florida. And out of literally nowhere, this guy walks on Division I football at James Madison University. Say what? Out of nowhere. And I'm going to quote Lil Wayne here, real G's move in silence like lasagna, because that's what Augustus Shapley Boyd V did there. He landed a spot in the mix of the safeties. He played a really big role on special teams over there, all while maintaining an academic honor roll status at the college. Really impressive. This guy has a famous quote that he always says, whether you believe it or not, quote, "I know ball." His friends like to think he knows absolutely nothing about football, but his bio begs to differ. After school, after college ball, he finally landed back where he belongs, Jacksonville, Duval, with the Jags fan. Quint Boyd is a loyal friend, a Jags fan, husband and father of 2. Please welcome Quint Boyd, Augustus Shapley Boyd V.
Augustus Shapley Boyd, and while we wait for him to jump in here, we did also play middle school football together for 1 year, but Quint and I both got hurt. But, dude, our roots go back, man. Landro Middle School football, dude. We go way back.
The OG days, man. The OG days for sure. Here he is. There's Quint. Welcome to the pod, Quint. Welcome to Two in the Teal. Yeah, round of applause for the guy. Round of applause for the guy.
Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome in, bro.
Welcome in.
Pumped to be here. Talk Jags with the boys. Come on.
That's what it's all about, man. That's what this whole podcast is about. Fellowship and Jags.
Shall we just jump right in? Because we were blessed with a Jaguars scrimmage tonight, and none of us were there, but we were adamantly reading Twitter and seeing what was going on. I mean, my headlines were Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdowns at Brian Thomas Jr. He ended the scrimmage with a touchdown to Brenton Strange. It was a lot of 1s beating up on the 2s, but Marcus, let's start with you. What were you hoping to get out of this scrimmage?
I just wanted to see guys flying around making plays. Obviously, we're not going to get full speed, full capability of the team until week 1, not even preseason. It's not going to happen on those preseason Sunday games. What I just want to see is I want to see a flow of the team. Not so much intensity, but just showing that they know how to play together as a unit and they're cohesive, if that makes sense. So far, I heard Trevor had a big pick, but hey, I'm not down on Trevor for that big pick. It happens. That's ball, right? We're working out the kinks. That's what preseason's all about. So that's what I'm looking for, Ethan.
Yeah, Quint, for receivers and corners, what are these scrimmages all about?
Really, it's going to come down to just scheme, right? They're in a new scheme. They're trying to get their spacing down, get their timing down, understand and play fast, not have to think about the call when it comes in. So really, it was good for them to get out there tonight and just go live action. It was cool to see Travis go both sides of the ball as well. So,
absolutely.
I mean, that's always exciting, but really it's just scheme. Like, can I hear this call come in? Can we communicate, especially on the defensive side? The DBs all communicating. Hey, are we on the same page? Are we in the same coverage? You have eyes on the things I have eyes on. Did you see that motion, right? So being able to get that in a live setting and react is huge, especially with all the new schemes going on.
How long does it take?
This is great
Yeah,
because
that was
I
beautiful.
never would have fucking thought of any of that.
That's amazing.
It's
That's the
tough.
smartest thing that's ever been said on the show so far.
That is the
Come
most
on.
football. That is the most football knowledgeable thing that's been said on this podcast so far.
How long do you think it takes for like scheme and stuff to become second nature? Like you don't even have to think about it.
Oh man, I'm really like you want to say years, right? Because
Yeah.
you might get the basics down, but then every single team you play, they're going to be giving you different looks, whether that's different personnels or different teams have different stressors or focal points. So like when they're playing the Bengals, obviously you got to worry about Jamar, but then you also got to worry about T. So every single time you face a different offensive scheme as a defense, or vice versa, you're just going to get different looks. So
Yeah. Well, and then in the
I'm
first
probably-
few weeks,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say in the first few weeks we have the Bengals with Jamar and T, and then a few weeks later we have the Chiefs with a bunch of small, fast guys. I mean that changes like, and Jamar's big and fast, but like,
Right.
I mean that changes. What does that even change for like a defensive back? Like,
everything. Just the speed might change. You might have a really physical game one week, especially if you're a safety. You might have a really physical game one week, and then maybe the next week you're a little bit more in coverage. Also, just the different personnel types, right? So one week maybe you're facing a lot of like 2 tight end packages, a heavy motion team. You have to prepare for all those motions.
Yeah.
Whereas next week, maybe it's not so much like a 2 tight end package and a little bit more of a stagnant offense, less motion. So that kind of goes back to my point. You might really understand a defense, but until you've seen every single look there is, you're always going to be growing. So hopefully we can get some year-over-year cohesiveness from our coaching staff for the first time in a long time, and these guys can just get better year-over-year, you know?
That makes so much sense to me because some teams are super big power-based, double package tight ends, lots of motion, and then some teams are just, I'm going to line up against you and let's see who's more athletic and who's got better hands, you know? So I hope that we're preparing for both because we're going to see it all in this new team. They got to be ready, man. I love it when you smile at me, Ethan, when I finish the sentence.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're starting to dive too much into the territory of like real football talk. We need to go back to the vibes. Let's see. Another thing that I saw that was apparently clear as day is the starting defensive line was just beating up our second string O line, which I'm down. I'm down, dude. I'm down. Like, Josh Hines-Allen, beast. Trayvon Walker, beast. I thought one of the biggest signings we had
a little more pass rush out of him for me, but keep going.
The hands.
Yeah. You know the drill.
The hands. I thought our sneaky biggest signing was Emmanuel Ogbah, just to have a third pass rusher in there, just to give these guys a break and give them a break and have somebody serviceable actually in the game as well. But yeah, man. So, I mean, and then Brenton Strange ended the scrimmage with a touchdown. I like him.
Let's go. Dude,
Come on.
Brenton Strange is a sleeper. I mean,
Yeah.
and to think that if we cut Evan Ingram,
Yeah.
just, we sent him away, and we were like, no, Brenton Strange is our guy.
Yeah.
I mean, we must have some serious faith in Brenton Strange out of Penn State, no? Like, I mean, he's kind of a dog.
Yeah. I don't want to get too into the details. No, this is a vibes podcast.
No,
but
get in there.
You gotta look
Get
at
in
the,
there.
you gotta look at the
No,
scheme
rip
too,
it,
right?
rip
So-
it.
Rip
That's
it,
why
yeah.
you're here. That's why you're
So,
here.
so Liam
Hit me.
Cohen's coming from like a run-heavy scheme, right? So Evan Ingram just really doesn't fit that bill. He's not really like that true,
He's a big
beat
receiver,
you up
right?
on the line, blocking tight end who can get out in the play action and go make big plays, right? So he was more of like a receiver, a really good receiver and a big body receiver. But with the new guard coming in, they want to establish the run. So Strange just fits that bill more of like a true blocking tight end who can get out and make big plays in play action.
Are you thinking that this Jags crew that we have coming into the season, new coaching staff, new players around, are you thinking that we're going to be more of a run-style power offense as opposed to the gunslinging?
It'll depend on, it'll depend on week-by-week schemes. It'll depend, obviously, are we up in the game, are we down in the game? But one thing's for sure is that Liam wants to establish the run, so he's going to want to get that going. So you're going to see a lot of Tank. You're going to see a lot of ETN. We'll probably like a running back by committee setup going on. But, yeah, it's going to be more of a run focal point offense, which is very different from what we saw with Press and Dougie.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I love a 7-yard gain from a tight end when you need it.
Yeah.
When you need it, or even a sneaky deep post to a tight end when nobody's expecting it.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of opens up the playbook a little bit. If we go more run heavy with a bigger tight end who still is athletic and can catch the ball, it puts them on their toes because they're expecting the run, but it opens up the playbook to say, no, fuck you. Here comes a deep post out of nowhere. He's wide open in the corner of the end zone. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully we get to see some of that.
And the receiver room is all three guys who run 4.3 40s. Travis didn't run a 40, but he looks the part of every bit as fast as any of them. And then Diami and BTJ fly.
I was meaning to ask you that. Why didn't he run a 40? So
He's too good for that.
He was too good to run a 40? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me.
I like my guys running 40. You know, BTJ and Malik Neighbors last year, they ran their 40s just out of purely like they just were trying to be faster than each other. I don't think Travis had anybody that he was really like caring to. I think he was more worried about like, what if I popped a hammy during my 40?
Yeah,
Travis is funny too.
That would be a problem.
I was watching.
I
just
did want to bring. Go ahead.
I was watching a video he posted on YouTube of him working out with Trevor, and they're just running routes. He's like, "I'm sneaky fast. I'm not 40 fast. I'm sneaky fast." Okay. I think he's more of like a separation athlete. He's really quick, really twitchy. Probably still like easily very quick, but I bet you maybe BTJ is faster in a deadline.
Well, there's a total difference between field speed and just sprint speed, right? I mean, the acceleration and the choppiness of your feet and then your footwork, it all plays into separation, like you were saying, QB. So maybe he doesn't need to run a 40. Everybody knows that he's fast.
Quint, the play calling in this new scheme and everything, because it's new to all these guys, this is one hesitation I have where I'm like, I keep pumping the brakes on myself, going like, we could very well be like 2-3, 2-4 at one point. Like, do they ease into the play calling? Does it elevate week after week? Like, do they introduce stuff as the weeks go on, just so week one they say, let's stick to kind of our bread and butter, and then as the weeks go on, you break out the fancy stuff. Andy Reid does that on the Chiefs. He breaks out plays in the Super Bowl that nobody had seen them run before.
Yeah. So yes to both. So everything's going to get installed, like a week-over-week package, right? So they have their basic package that they're installing right now in camp, which is going to be the Jaguars 101 basic offense, basic defense. But then every single week when they're preparing for different teams and different schemes, they're going to have little what we call wrinkles they add into it, right? Where maybe our basic play action looks like this, but when we see this front or this little difference type of scheme, we're going to throw in this slightly different play action, right? Or maybe all year long we show this one screen, this one screen, this one screen. And then come Super Bowl, we now have a hook and ladder off that screen, something like Andy Reid would do, or Travis Kelce catch the ball down the middle of the field, 40 yards downfield, does a hook and ladder. I think they did that on like Thanksgiving or Christmas Day a couple years back. But little wrinkles like that, you kind of hold back until you really need them.
Well, do you remember when we played the Chargers in the playoffs and Zay Jones had a long touchdown, part of that comeback? And they were showing behind the scenes that it's usually Christian Kirk's route, but then Trevor audibled and called it for Zay to run that route just because he saw something. But I was just like, that's stuff that we'll do rants about the last regime and last season. We keep teasing that. But, that was stuff that kind of got me excited at first. And then that ETN sneaky run, like it looked like the play calling was really smart and, creative. And they were saying instead of Christian doing it, let's have Zay run it and give them a different route concept out of the same look. But I feel more confident in this regime to really actually mix it up.
Right. And then something to fire up Marcus would be all day long, these tight ends are going to be blocking. They're going to be doing lots, maybe just like little crossing routes. But eventually, once they show that enough and the run game's working, there's going to be a play where the tight end just kind of slips and runs almost a wheel up the back sideline, just wide open. You see the Lions do that stuff all the time because they have such a dominant run game. So you get to see some big boys downfield, Marcus, catching some tutties.
Yeah,
let's go.
Brother, depending on if we can fucking push the defensive line back 5 yards and vice versa the other way on defensive line, I'm a trenches boy till the day I die. And it is the battle is won and lost in the trenches. There's no denying it. I've watched all the games. Like I've said before, when I'm watching ball, I'm not even watching where the football is. I'm watching what's happening up front. Last season was atrocious. I remember, can't specifically pinpoint what game it was, Ethan, but we were there, and there was probably 10 moments during the game where I said, Ethan, don't even watch the play. Just watch the defensive line. And it was just no penetration, not even a bull rush, nothing in the backfield. They are literally locking up and just standing still and looking in the backfield and seeing which way the ball's going. So there was no attack to the ball. And the same thing goes on offensive line, right? I hope that we have the guys inside to make space so that we can free up a tight end when we need it in those crucial moments. Man, my fingers are crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's not a hot take or a secret to say, like, O-line matters, but we're seeing guards and centers are getting, like, $80 million guaranteed. I mean, these coaches now are going, like, and it makes sense. They're the 3 closest guys to your quarterback. They're the ones that are going to push your run game up the middle. I mean, Trey Smith on the Chiefs just got, like, $80 million. I mean, that's insane.
That's
a guard. That's never
crazy.
happened.
But, like, I'm kind of glad it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the reestablishment of the run game.
It.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And you look at all the Super Bowl winners, it's really evident even in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of every single year. I mean, if you can go back as far as the Kansas City Tampa Bay Bucks game, Tom Brady's last ring, O-line. So Bucks were dominant. Kansas City's O-line was getting torn up all game. You look at the Bengals versus, who was it, the Eagles that year? Was it the
Rams? That was the Rams.
It was the Rams, right?
Aaron Donald ate them up.
Ate the Bengals O-line.
He had the game-winning sack.
Yep.
Yeah.
You look at last year, the Chiefs O-line was, I'm pretty sure they were kind of injured at that point in the year, but then the Eagles, just both sides of the trench, just absolute monsters. It's
dominant.
Spot on, Mark. You got to have it, man. The big boys, got to feed them.
You
give them the hype they deserve.
The better you are up front, the more opportunity you have in the deeper areas in the field. I mean, if you can consistently hand the ball off and pick up 4 yards, you're in good shape. That's another thing that I saw was our running backs are getting contacted at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
It needs to be 3-4 yards past the line of scrimmage every fucking time. You know what I mean? And then another fucking thing, I'm going to use fucking a lot because I'm pissed. Another thing that we did was last season we would have these 8 yards, third down plays, and we're throwing 5-yard out routes.
Yep.
We're not throwing past the line of game. We're not even throwing 8 yards. We're throwing 5 yards, and then we're just getting tackled 3 yards short. Like,
don't get me started on Press Taylor, man. Don't get me started on Press.
Well, we didn't have a line to run the ball, so the screens were the run game. I mean, Evan Ingram was the run game.
It was screens. That's right.
What are we doing?
Screens all day.
What are we doing, man?
Screens all day. Yeah, and ETN, there was a stat. It was like average contact was 1.3 yards in the backfield. It was either last year or the year before. Abysmal.
It's
bad.
So we'll see. But
but that's what I'm saying is they brought the guys in. We've talked about Tank Bigsby on here before. Yeah. I'm a big supporter of Tank Bigsby. I took him second in our Jags draft episode. If you haven't watched, by the way, first I took Ross Mastick, our All-Pro long snapper.
First team All-Pro.
Team All-Pro long snapper. Absolute beast.
Technically the best football player on this team. Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, Quint, if you haven't watched his highlight tape, Quint, after this podcast, you got to watch the highlight tape. It's insane, dude.
Punch out fumbles, yeah. And then Logan Cook, the punter. That was another note I got off of Twitter of this scrimmage. Our special teams unit is, just what a machine, a well-oiled machine. Cam Little was drilling 58-yarder, 56-yarder. That's a weapon right there.
Yeah. Quint, I want to get into a little bit of your knowledge on splitting up a guy who gets picked number 1 overall in the NFL draft, and now he is expected at this point to play both ways. What kind of feel do you think the new coaching staff has to implement him into offense and defensive roles?
Yes, they're doing it in a really smart way, I think. So they're doing it in blocks. They were doing 2 or 3 days of just offense with, quick little defensive installs or walkthroughs, before or after practice, and then they'd flip-flop. They do 2 or 3 days of just defense. That way it can really sink in. Now at this point, I think maybe for the first time, maybe it was the other day, but I know in the scrimmage tonight, he flipped back and forth in the same event, right? So they're doing it well because they're in this install period. So it's a heavy noggin install phase where you're just learning and absorbing so much information, right? Like, you're back at the first day of school at college, learning a new subject, and you're just getting dumped on with new info, right? So they've done a good job breaking that up, and he seems like a maniac when it comes to football. Like, He's like, Coach, you don't have to worry about me. I just fish and play football, man. So I'll be in the books. I'll be working out. I'll be fishing, and that's about it.
Come game day, I mean, what do you think we can expect from him as far as percentages of snaps on offense and defense? Because, Ethan had a great point. What did you say? This isn't volleyball. This is national football. I mean,
so you can usually tell how a team feels about their draft pick. They're pretty upfront in their press conferences. So you'll see when they stop and say, "Oh, he's just a rookie, guys. Let's calm down. He probably sucks." You can probably just go ahead and put it in pen. He's not very good. Travis, they're like, "He's sick. He's awesome." But they just keep talking about his cardio, and I'm like, okay, got it. This isn't cardio kickboxing here. This is, he's going to have Derrick Henry running right at him. So, that's just the kind of thing where I'm like, okay, got it. He can run all day long. And he's doing all of this, by the way, Colorado, high altitude, and now in the swamps of Florida. I mean, it really is insane.
And I guess the point I'm trying to make is how many snaps is he going to take on offense, and then all of a sudden, hey, buddy, we're at a defensive phase now. Go in. What's
is he a packages guy or is he full time?
Right. That's what exactly. Package or full time both ways.
So with what we gave up for him, he's got to end up being damn near full on both ways, right?
Exactly.
Which sounds crazy, but I think there's a couple factors here that make it not so crazy. As an optimist, delusional Jags fan. Here's how I look at it.
I cannot fucking wait to hear this. Come on, give it to me.
Here's how I look at it. There's three big things I'm looking at, right? Just look at the game itself and the perimeter players. You can call it softer or safer. Whatever you want to call it, it's a much less physical game for those guys nowadays, right? They're not getting crackbacked. So when he's at cornerback, there's not going to be any crazy crackbacks potentially taking him out of the game, right? When you look at offense, receivers, a defenseless receiver is probably the second most protected person on the field outside of the quarterback, right? So the nature of the two positions he's playing, they're tough, but they're not as physically demanding as pretty much any other position on the field, right? So just the nature is going to be a cornerback and a receiver. It's not going to be entirely as physically demanding as if he was, say, playing O-line and D-line, which would be impossible because you're getting beaten up and you're giving it your all out on every single play, right? Also, if you're a receiver on a quick little run play, you're just pretending to block your guy sometimes, right? True. Especially if you're on the outside, like he'll probably be. So that's basically a rest, right? So the nature of the
I want to see
playing,
him. I want to see him actually block every single time, though. There's no fake blocks. There's no fake blocks in the Jags. We do everything 110%.
Say he's on the left side of the field and it's a toss right. He's just going to get in front of his guy and just kind of stay there, right?
No, I want a pancake.
Yeah.
Marcus is crazy. I love it though. But Marcus played D-line, right? That's who he is, right? Yeah. There's no breaks in there, right? So that's why this could potentially work. The game is a bit softer, right? Softer, safer, whatever you want to call it. The nature of his positions, they're not as physically demanding in terms of hits on his body, right? So that cardiovascular endurance
so it does
really
make sense
matter
to keep talking.
a lot.
Yeah.
Because he's going to keep running, making plays. And then also you have to look at the schemes, right? Maybe not so much on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, they're installing more of a zone-heavy scheme. What does that mean? It means he's more protecting his zone. He's not chasing people all over the field all day, right? So defense is a little bit less taxing now as well. Whereas the old regime was heavy man, and that's why we were getting toast, because who chases Tyreek Hill around all day, every day?
Yeah.
So there's a couple things playing in there as to why I think it could work out.
So what do you think about, and it's former players, high-level players that are saying this, where they're saying, if whoever your receiver is that's matched up on Travis Hunter, just have them run a go route, tire him out, so then he's tired when he goes on offense, as if you can't just let him, take a snap off. But, what do you think about that? I think, so you're telling me either way he's taking out a receiver because they're just telling the guy to run a go route? So he's already taken a receiver out of the game. What do you think about that?
Just silliness. I don't know. I really don't know what to say to that. Because
hey, Jamar, just scratch the play, just run.
Right, right. A, that would never happen. And then B, if that was happening for some incredibly weird reason, we would just switch to a zone. Which, you're right, where he's not chasing that man all the way down the field all the time, right? So there's ways around that. And at the end of the day, he's not Iron Man. He's going to have to come out for a breather from time to time, especially early in the season when it's going to be humid as shit here in Jacksonville, Florida, and super hot, right? But I'm telling you, that. He's done it his whole life. I played both ways in high school, corner and receiver. You can do it, right? He did it in high school, college. Now he's going to do it in the NFL. I think he can do it. there's going to be obviously a lot of, sports science going into it. And I think the Jags have them surrounded with a team that's just all over it. So we'll see. I'm pumped up. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Why not the
believe
Jags?
it was,
Why not?
I believe 2015, 2016 season, it was 8 receiving touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns for you at Ponte Vedra High School. Pretty impressive.
Oh, man. Dude,
There
I
we go.
peaked.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go.
Come on. Let's go.
It was Eric Mangini. He used to be a coach in the NFL on FS1. He said, well, instead of having my guys run go routes on him, which by the way, you think in the meetings that week, your receiver room is going to go, yep, okay, coach, sounds good. They're going to go, what? No.
So our offensive scheme is to wear out Travis Hunter? Come on.
Perfect. Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's ridiculous. He said what I would do is I would just scheme up my runs so that my 200-plus pound running back, I would have them be trying to run at Travis Hunter as much as possible and say, I know you can run 50 yards, but can you tackle, name them? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that will happen, and he'll have to prove it. But, Marcus, somebody's got to spill, somebody's got the edge, somebody's got contained, and then there's Travis. There's a couple things that have to break down before it gets out there.
Foyer and
No, I hear you. I mean,
it's
just now we're guarding NFL elites in college. More than half of them don't even get a taste of the NFL. So how many of them that he actually guarded up or played wide receiver against actually made it to the league? I mean, the amount is probably very, very small.
But to be fair, while playing against that lesser competition, he smoked all of them and won the Bolitnikoff, Jim Thorpe, and Heisman. He didn't just play with them. I mean, he destroyed them all.
I'm not knocking his potential. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just
we got to give him some grace for sure, because people are looking at this like this is such a crazy draft pick. Everything that we gave up for it. He's not going to go out there week 1 and be the all-star that we need him to be. He's probably going to make mistakes. He's probably going to miss assignments. He's going to drop balls. It's going to happen. So just giving him that breathing room to expand and fit into that role. Everybody's going to be tuning into the Jags games to watch and see how is Travis Hunter playing both ways. And the moment they see him fuck up, they're going to shit on him on Twitter. And so that's what's tough, and that's one of the things that I'm kind of concerned about.
The trading the second round pick and the first round pick, which that second round pick was used on a guy who allegedly punched his girlfriend in the face. So on paper, we are very close to winning that trade.
Not nice.
Whoa, not nice.
Nice winning the trade. Nice winning
on
the
paper,
trade.
we are winning the trade so far. But
we're gonna cut that part.
This staff thinks we're going to be good this year. You don't do that thinking like we're building for the future. They think we're good right now. I mean,
absolutely.
First round pick, Schmerst round pick.
It's going to be the trenches. Can the O-line get going?
It's going to be
D-line
pick,
get going? Can
29.
get going?
So, exactly.
Yep.
Well, we wouldn't have done that if we wouldn't have done that if we didn't think, or unless we're just drafting blindly and just going crazy and we're trying to pick up a check because he's going to make us a whole boatload of money. But we're saying that we're filled in that role now on both sides. Yeah. That's what's a little bit scary about it for me is, we could have gotten a safety late. We could have gotten someone decent later, but now we traded all that deal, and we got him set both ways now. So we got a 2-for-1. So they say. I
also think the head coach is the play caller. He's going to have the final say. He's going to be like, you're a primary receiver, and you go in and you're going to provide some depth at DB. You're with me, buddy.
I think that's the most likely outcome as well, because it's also a make or break year for Trevor, and then that kind of eliminates excuses for Trevor too. It's like now you have 2 legitimate wide receivers, right? Plus you got some good running backs in the stable. Like, as long as the O-line can be at least slightly above average, the excuses go out the window for Trev,
We talked about this last time. This is a hot seat year, dude. This GM did not draft him. This coach did not draft him. This organization, this current staff did not pay him all that money. Like, Trevor is technically not their guy. He's just who they inherited. I mean, if he has a bad year, you could move off of him.
But do we keep him for another year after his bad year and draft high like a rookie quarterback and then let him sit behind Trevor instead of giving a rookie quarterback the hot seat? I feel like that's the best option, honestly, in my opinion, because historically speaking with the Jaguars, rookie quarterbacks have not worked out.
Yeah. Trevor's also 25 years old. I mean, he's
Right.
Yeah.
He's still a kid.
He's
but,
younger
you
than
know,
Jaden Daniels. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
I don't know.
That's so
I like
crazy.
I
Or is
like
that
the
the same age?
mentorship. I like the mentorship aspect of in the quarterback position. Actually, every position. Let's just put it
Yeah,
that
but
way. But
a 25-year-old isn't going to be mentoring a 23-year-old. I mean,
you don't
like, if
think
you
so?
drafted
I feel like you would
no,
do all right. Fuck.
no. Joe Flacco is your mentor, not Trevor Lawrence.
Man,
I think-
I love Joe Flacco.
Me too.
I think
He's
we're
nice.
locked in with Trevor. I think we're locked in with Trevor for at least a couple more years.
Yeah,
And just in reality, and I don't know. I think he has a lot guaranteed coming up in the next couple years where it's like we're paying him.
$200 million. Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to be optimistic with Trevor on. I mean, there was that stretch when we went to the divisional where he was either number 1 or in the top 5 in every single
Oh
category.
yeah.
Like
he had a
touchdowns.
16-game stretch where he was top 5.
He was the best quarterback in the NFL. It was incredible. Then he had injuries. We had terrible coaching, lots of terrible play on the O-line, lots of dropped touchdowns from receivers. So it's good to see that this new regime coming in, like Liam Cohen, they're actually coaching Trevor. Like Trevor hasn't actually been taught anything new, it seems, in the last 3 years. But now he's working on his footwork. He's working on using his eyes as a weapon instead of staring people down. So going from first read to second to third. Apparently, but he's taught him that in the last 3 years. So I think there's a lot to be optimistic about. And one of the things Liam said that just made sense is that the goal is for Trevor to not have to be Superman. Like, we don't want him to have to be Superman. We want to have the run game. Then that opens everything up for Trevor.
Yeah, I think he needs to get rid of the ball a little bit faster. Good offensive line is going to give him the opportunity to get rid of the ball a little faster, a little more comfort. And I also did hear that he's switching his feet under center and in shotgun, and that's fine. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm not a stats guy. I don't really look at the
Stats are for
seconds.
nerds.
Right, but if
I have eyes.
if it
Eye
takes him a
test.
little bit,
Yeah,
you know, if
I'm an eye
he
test guy.
gets more comfortable by flipping his feet, but it's against quarterback standards to have that other foot back, I don't give a shit.
Well, and if he's had his foot the other way his whole career, I mean, is that kind of crazy to ask him to switch it? I don't know how much that really changes. I mean,
I think
I
it
also
was a
feel like
him-
you're
it was a
making a
him
$250
thing.
million, you can figure it out.
I think it was a him
That's-
thing.
yeah.
I think he wanted to switch his feet.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
I think
the
he
one
wanted to
knock.
put the other foot back.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest
ahead,
knock
Glenn.
on Trevor. The biggest knock on Trevor, in my opinion, is like, what have you been doing in the offseason the last 4 years? Because if you look at him, if you look at him early on, he missed high. You look at him last year, he's still missing high. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you doing? Like, how is your footwork not gotten better? How is your release not getting better? Like, why are you still missing high? Why are you still staring down your first read? Like, are you not working with elite level quarterback coaches in the offseason? We paid you like $1 billion in Bitcoin. Like, throw a quarterback coach a Bitcoin and go learn these things, right? It's like, that's my biggest, I get fired up about that. It's like, what are you actually doing in the offseason? That none of these things have improved.
It goes back to the draft when he was doing the whole football doesn't define me thing while already having the first overall pick locked in for himself. I mean, you did not need to say that. Like, nobody in your family needed to say that football doesn't define you. Like, I wish it did.
That's for sure the biggest knock on him, and it drives us nuts. But we've also seen freaking touchdown Jesus mode where he goes like 12 for 12 on a single drive, picking a defense apart. I mean, he can be incredible, but we'll see.
And
and
you're
has
absolutely
the weapons
right.
around him.
He does do the overthrow way too much in the previous seasons, man. He's overthrown so many wide receivers. I mean, back to back on drives. We've lost so many potential drives for game-winning touchdowns because Trevor's overthrown somebody. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the wake-up call, and maybe he's going to start throwing dimes.
Let's run through the Jags' schedule really quick, and I just want to look at like what quarterbacks are we going up against this season? Because I know we have the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, and I just already am scared that that's going to become a, it's going to come down to the last 5 minutes, and Mahomes is going to tear us up somehow. I mean, when I watch him, I'm like, he's not executing at the level that these other guys are. Let's see. Bryce Young, week 1. Fine. Joe Burrow, week 2. See, right out the gate, I'm nervous.
Joe Shiesty.
Joe's nice. CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Mahomes, Sam Darnold. Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford. If you need a guy to win you one game, is he not pretty high up on the list?
Oh,
Geno Smith.
absolutely. But I'm still taking Trevor.
Yeah. Now that I'm running through this list, I mean, there's only like 3 games that I'm like, oof, like clear disadvantage here. Actually, C.J. Stroud again, Justin Herbert. Hello. Playoffs. Kyler Murray, got it. Cam Ward, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Bo Nix, Daniel Jones again, and Cam Ward again. Okay, this is actually a pretty winnable schedule here. I mean, I'm actually kind of liking that, saying it out loud.
I feel like we can do it. We got to win some big games for sure, but I mean, we have a chance.
What makes you happy though? What are we looking for this year though? I'd be psyched with 8 wins. Psyched.
Dude,
I think 8 wins would be huge.
My expectations are not that high.
Yeah.
Expectations
it's a very
are not
winnable
that
division.
Yeah.
Division's wide open.
I don't
CJ
even need to
Stroud,
win the
man.
division. I just need to see, like you said, 8 wins and competitive football. Man, I'm happy because you know what? That right there is a foundation we can build on.
Right.
And that's what
see.
I'm looking for. I'm looking for a foundation here. We've got no base. We after last season, we were lost, man. We were lost in the weeds. We need a base to build on. 8 wins, competitive losses. I'm fucking happy as clam, dude.
Yeah.
Quint, do you remember the punch-out fumble against Miami, that an 80-yard Tyreek Hill touchdown the other way right away?
Yeah.
I don't think we ever recovered from that. What is
We
that?
were doomed. We were doomed after that.
What
I
goes
don't
on in the
know.
locker room after that?
I mean, it shouldn't spiral like it did. That's for sure, man. Like that's deflating. That's awful. But I remember as a fan walking away from that game saying we didn't know how bad Miami was at the time. We thought they were pretty good like they were the year before. I remember walking away from that game being like, you know what? Like, we looked like a pretty decent team. Like, our defense looked pretty locked down. Offense was going. Once again, we didn't know Miami was terrible last year.
Right.
But, like, they should have been able to recoup and move forward from that. But it's just something in the culture, something in the water, whether it's the maybe the guys don't love ball, like James Gladstone's been trying to get. He's just trying to get guys who love ball in there. And I love that. Like, you look at all these teams that do great, like the Patriots dynasty, those guys just, like, obviously they worked hard and were psychopaths, but they also just had fun. Like Gronk and Edelman and Tom Brady. You look at freaking Travis Kelce and Mahomes and those boys, like, they're having fun. They love what they do. So I think that's a good shift. I remember when they were talking about who they were drafting, Gladstone was specifically going after seniors in the Senior Bowl who were playing out of position just because they wanted to be there. They just wanted to play.
Yeah, that's
right?
cool.
They just love ball
That's
like
really
that.
cool.
So I think that's when you have guys who enjoy the process, enjoy what they're doing every single day, then hopefully they keep showing up for work every day and you don't have, fall aparts like last year.
Yeah, the culture and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, like, they know that they are good. Their roles of being good is totally solidified. And so I often wonder if we're in the locker room, are we thinking that our players are actually good, like in their own heads, their own minds, like their confidence? They probably don't feel like they're any good because we have a losing spirit and a losing culture here in Jacksonville. We need a coaching staff that can change that and build foundation so we can play ball and we can play ball at a high level. But like you were saying, we need the culture. Without it, we're doomed. Travis Kelce, Mahomes, they have it, and we just have animosity in the locker room. Thanks.
It was like losing was an assumption almost. It was like it was an available option. Like, it should not even be an available option. It shouldn't even cross your mind.
When Doug and them started like pointing fingers and stuff, that just got weird. Like when Doug Peterson was like arms crossed, blaming this, like blaming the players. That I was amazed we didn't move off him so much earlier in the season than we did.
You know what I was wondering? I could be totally off here, but I had a gut feeling last season that Coach was told that he was done before he was actually fired.
Sure,
Is that something that Shad Khan might just go ahead and do? What if Shad Khan told him, "Hey, man, this is your last season with us, but we'd like to just pay you and have you ride out the rest of the season"? Do you think that could have happened? Because, like Quint was saying, it was almost like there was a moment where the wheels just completely fell off, where he was taking interviews and he was saying, "I'm not going to answer. You guys are just going to blame me anyway." stuff like that. I mean, it just seemed weird to me. It was odd.
I mean, if you let him go early, he and the OC were one and the same. Like, Press was his guy, and then our defensive coordinator liked to throw third stringers on critical third downs. So I don't even think there was anybody, like, who would have filled in the head coaching spot. Like,
I just feel like
hey,
he knew he was cooked.
the special
before
teams
he was
coach,
cooked.
baby. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hell
he
yeah.
has
I'm
to have
sure.
known. Yeah, he has to have known. And when you guys do the burn the old regime to the ground podcast, if you need
it's
an
coming.
extra man, throw me on.
Oh, dude, we might get
I
like
think-
a rotating, like every 10 minutes, bring in the fresh body.
Maybe we'll make like an hour segment on that and
Yeah.
just filter in people that have a really strong opinion that they want to get off their chest. That'll
That's
be
a
a
great
rant.
idea.
I think we should set that up. We'll get the logistics down on that. We'll get it set up.
We'll get
For
some
sure.
random people calling into the podcast.
Yeah,
Just like a radio show.
Yeah.
Man, it'll be great.
Oh,
It'll be a good
yeah.
time.
That would be yeah. We just got to build the reputation a little bit. We'll get there.
Dude, oh yeah, we'll get there. Quint, let's wrap it up on that, dude. I learned so much talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you'll be back on, so thanks for talking to us, dude, and it was great to see you, my man.
Awesome.
Yeah,
to be
thanks for
here,
coming
fellas.
in, brother. This was the most this football podcast has been so far.
Yeah, big
You
time.
actually have a football mind. We clearly don't. So thank you for coming in and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us this evening.
Appreciate it. Hope the vibes were still, vibey. But thanks for having me, fellas.
Dude, you're so vibey.
Yeah, dude. Tell your wonderful wife and your beautiful daughters we say hello, man.
Will do. Congrats to you, Sir Ethan, on the engagement, man.
Thank you.
Super cute. It's going to be a blast.
All right, boys. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace out, everybody.